The Draw panel is accessible from the Objects Draw menu item and provides you with a number of buttons and boxes that allow you to draw external objects onto your Jmol structure. These are objects such as points, lines, planes, and arrows that will help you enhance your Jmols by pointing out particular aspects of your structure, or drawing curved arrows, or doing other things with built objects that are not the structure itself. For instance, if we wanted to illustrate the symmetry elements of this enamine, for instance, we wanted to demonstrate that it was planar by showing a plane of symmetry here, we could use the Draw Point Group command, which is accessible by clicking just the Symmetry Elements button. You'll notice now that the plane of symmetry corresponding to that enamine is drawn here in yellow with a blue outline. A useful command for a segment of a protein is the Ramachandran Angles button, which will allow you to see the Ramachandran angles about a particular residue that you have selected. So for instance, here I have a section of a carbonic anhydrase, and if I wanted to see the Ramachandran angle for a particular residue, I could select residue, click it, and then click the Ramachandran Angles button in order to bring up objects that show the phi and psi angles, as well as the planes corresponding to the phi and psi planes here in yellow and purple. Finally, I wanted to give you an introduction to how you can use Jmol to draw curved arrows on your structures. This can be done from within the Draw panel, and it's similar to the process you use in Marvin Sketch, the difference being instead of dragging the arrow from the start point to the end point, you specify the start and end points by selecting and then tell Jmol to draw the arrow from there. So for instance, if we wanted to draw an arrow from the enamine nitrogen towards the bond between carbon and nitrogen, we would do that by first specifying this nitrogen as the start point by selecting it and then clicking Register Start Point, and then specifying the bond as the end point by selecting both atoms of the bond. We could select more atoms if we wanted to specify an endpoint that was the geometric center of our selection. In this case, that geometric center is exactly the position of the bond here. After specifying that as the endpoint, we can click Draw Arrow to make an arrow appear. This also increments the ID number box by 1. This ID number is a unique attribute of every drawn object in your Jmol, so this object has received an ID number of 1. If you'd like to edit it, go back and replace whatever's in the ID number box with that ID, and then you can change a variable like the height, click Draw Arrow again, and you'll notice that that arrow with the ID of 1 has changed, and the ID number box has incremented yet again.